Hi, welcome to Earth University. Today we're going to talk about Belize and the pros and cons of Belize.
So for a lot of people that we were meeting in Central America, it seemed like a destination for them was Guatemala. And we were kind of in the same boat where we were trying to get to Guatemala. For us, we had a cheap flight to Cancun and we ended up deciding between flying to Guatemala versus going overland. We ended up landing on going overland. We went through Mexico for a little bit. Mexico was a little bit disappointing. And then of course we had to go through Belize to go south to Guatemala.
Okay, well, why was Mexico disappointing? It was beautiful there.
The most disappointing part about Mexico is it was just too expensive.
Right. So while we're backpacking, almost the definition of a backpacker is the longer you can go, the more you get to see. So obviously the cheaper, the less money you spend every day, you got another budget for another day of traveling. That's the whole premise of backpackers, and they're doing it all over the world. And where are they going? They're going to cheaper countries.
So for a lot of the people we were running into while we were kind of crossing from Mexico into Belize, we were talking to them and they were just taking buses from Bacaral, which is the kind of southern Mexico place that you take buses from.
Last destination on the southern border.
They were taking a bus from there all the way to Flores, which is in North Guatemala, right? And it's like a 12-hour bus or something.
Completely through the country of Belize.
Yeah, so some people elect to kind of skip Belize because of kind of where it is. It's a small country. But we decided that we were going to spend a few nights in a city called San Ignacio.
Ignacio.
Wow, that's it's funny how I say it. I say it out loud and you still say it wrong.
You still get it wrong. Okay, we just arrived in San Ignacio. How do you say it?
San Ignacio.
Hey, it was close. San Ignacio.
That's still not right.
How do you say it?
Try it one more time. You got it.
San Ignacio.
I don't think he even tries.
Okay, so there's two great highlights of Belize. It's got the second largest coral reef, and it's kind of right in the middle of that coral reef. The whole Caribbean, right from Honduras all the way up to the Yucatan Peninsula. Belize is right in the center. Caye Caulker, Caye means island, and Ambergris Caye. Ambergris means whale vomit.
Of course, yes, I remember that well.
Yeah, they extract the whale vomit to make perfume out of it. That's how you remember the name Ambergris. I don't know. And anyway,
that explains why you stink so bad, is because you know so much about whale vomit perfume. But anyway,
so
regardless.
It's not cheap.
Well, Caye Caulker isn't cheap. But where we went San Ignacio. San Ignacio, reasonably
inland.
cheap.
Yeah, now you're getting away from the ocean and you're going inland, and you're right on the border with Guatemala. So it's a very reasonable price, except for they got some world famous cave tours, and the cave tours are $100 a day for the tour, which is probably great value, but you can do caves and everything in Guatemala. The reason we found out why these tours are so expensive, we believe there's only so many people allowed per day to keep the integrity of the cave, and there's skeletons in there and everything else.
Oh.
Yeah, so
those caves are called what again? My mind always wants to go RTX caves. It's like an acronym like that. It's ATM caves.
How do you forget that? ATM, you go in there and pull some money out. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you'd have to pull somebody out to go there.
Yeah.
There's a reason they're called the ATM caves.
So getting back on Belize, it's a beautiful country. The positives of Belize are it's the only country in all of Central America that they speak English.
And so that's kind of nice when you've spent, a week or whatever, and you spent time in countries where they speak Spanish and you don't speak Spanish. It's kind of a nice break to be able to go somewhere and know that you can talk to everybody.
Are very stubborn on their Spanish, as the English are very stubborn on our English. Why don't you learn English? You say to them, and they say, why don't you learn Spanish? Two languages in the whole world where they're stubborn. Us English.
I think everybody has a level of stubbornness.
Oh yeah, there's that for sure. Okay, so it's English in Belize. A real bonus is they're tied to the American dollar in a way that their currency, A, you can spend American dollars just as easy as you can spend the local dollars, and B, their exchange rate is no coincidence, is exactly 2-to-1 to the American dollar. So if it costs $1 American, it costs $2 Belize dollars. So it's really easy to do the math.
Yeah, that's another nice thing about it is you're going around, you're buying food, you're doing this stuff. Normally your ratios are like, oh, I'm dividing by 7, I'm doing this, but it's like everything 2-to-1 it's a nice way to know exactly what you're paying for things, there's something to be said for that for sure.
So Belize is beautiful. Getting to San Ignacio, where we were, right along the border, beautiful, really inland, and
It was a very chill spot, which was nice, and it was cheap.
Where you're deepest in the jungle.
Yeah, so if you're going through Central America and you're thinking, well, Belize is just a small little country, should I stop in it? The answer is yes. Try not to skip Caye Caulker. Try not to skip San Ignacio. We've only heard good things about Caye Caulker. We didn't stop there on this trip, but it's supposed to be very beautiful with the reefs. A little bit more expensive, but if you're looking for a place just to kind of chill for a handful of days, San Ignacio is a good stop. Cheap, nice, English.
It was a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Waterfalls and everything all within walking distance. Swimming right there in town.
Yeah.
Right in the river.
Yeah.
It was like plus 32 when we got there.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful weather.
So Belize, definitely worth it.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in.